Hi everyone, it's Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary. Welcome to Serpentes Sunday for Sunday, July 18th, 2021. Now, if you watch the latest episode of Royals at the Ranch, which airs every Thursday and is our series about Royal Python temperament, training, and behavior, you know I did an unboxing video this past Thursday during episode 4, but it wasn't unboxing of an animal, it was unboxing of something else. I have an unboxing video for you today as well, but as you can see, it's also not an animal. This is an unboxing video from Black Box Cages, and I guess you can guess what's in this box, but let's go ahead and get started unboxing it. Obviously, what I unboxed was an enclosure, and this enclosure came from Black Box Cages. They're located in Georgia, and their website is blackboxcages.com. This is not the first enclosure that we have gotten from them. We have 11 other enclosures that were made by Black Box, and we got another 3 delivered just a few days ago. And I'm putting together the first of the 3 new enclosures that got delivered. These are very easy to assemble. I can't say enough about the excellent customer service and the prompt and clear communication that I get from this company. Obviously, I'm extremely happy with them because now this makes 14 enclosures that we've purchased from them, and I can definitely tell you that we are going to be purchasing more in the future. This enclosure is 3 feet long, 2 feet high, and 18 inches deep. I chose this size because it's going to fit perfectly in one section of our facility, and it's going to house some medium-sized snakes. Previous enclosures that we have gotten from them have included 6 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, 5 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, 4 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, and 3 feet by 18 inches by 18 inches. We've been extremely happy with all of them. We've chosen to purchase all of the enclosures in white, but they do also come in black. And you can also order matching hide boxes or matching shelves. Now, I choose to get the shelves because most of the species of snakes that we work with here are semi-arboreal or at least do some climbing. And the majority of them really utilize shelves and ledges and seldom use hide boxes. Our enclosures arrived flat packed, and that's because it saves on shipping to do it that way. So what Black Box does is they build the enclosures, they assemble the enclosures at their facility in Georgia, and then they disassemble the enclosures and pack them up. And as you could see in the beginning of the video, they do an excellent job packaging the enclosures. And of the 14 enclosures that we've ordered from them, we've had none of them with any major parts broken. In fact, Only one small part on one enclosure out of 14 was even a slight bit damaged during shipping, and it was one of the hinges for the doors on one of 14 cages, and they replaced that right away. They pre-drill all the holes and they assemble the cages at their facility. They label every piece so that you know exactly which side or which piece goes where. And because all the holes are pre-drilled, because the cage has already been assembled once and disassembled and all of the appropriate pieces have been packaged up, it makes it really, really simple to put back together. It only took me a few minutes to actually put this enclosure together. Now, we do have experience putting these together, so it wasn't my first time, and that probably helped make it go a little more quickly. But because everything is pre-drilled, pre-routed, all of the pieces are labeled, all of the sides are labeled, it really does go quite quickly. After we've assembled the enclosures, we silicone all the seams, and that's what actually takes the longest. Not only applying the silicone, but waiting for it to dry before we can proceed by putting substrate and other furnishings in. I mentioned before that we have the enclosures flat packed and shipped to us. Again, that means that they assemble them at the facility and then they disassemble them and put all of the pieces in flat packaging and ship it to us, and then we have to put it back together once we receive it. That saves us on shipping. But if you're picking up the enclosures locally, you can pick them up completely put together. Or if you want to pay freight, you can have the enclosures shipped to you via freight and they will arrive completely assembled and put together. If you let Black Box Cages know what lamps or heating elements that you intend to put in the enclosure, they can pre-route everything for you. You just have to let them know what you plan to install and where you want that located in the enclosure. Now, these are front opening doors, but they also do have enclosures, the larger enclosures, like the 6x2x2 and the 5x2x2, come with doors that open down. So they don't have sliding doors. All of their doors are front opening, but on the smaller enclosures, they open to the side, and on the larger enclosures, they open down. I'm really thrilled for these little door handles because last year when we ordered enclosures, the doors did not come with any handles. And so sometimes they can be a little challenging to open. So I was really super excited when these three arrived to see that they've now included these small handles. This is one of the shelves that I'm going to put together. They do have shelving for the different size enclosures, and you just tell them the height of the shelf that you want, the length of the shelf that you want, and they will either send that to you put together or you can assemble it like I do here. Now, this is my husband, Jim, and he's installing the fixture for the halogen bulb. And then next to the halogen bulb, we always put a UVB light bar, and he's installing all that right now. And all of the holes for the cords and the screws to put the fixtures in are already pre-drilled or pre-routed, and they put that in the exact location that we asked them to. So we have the socket for the halogen bulb and the routing for the UVB light bar right next to each other on one end of the enclosure so that the snake can go down there if they want heat and UV. And then if that's on and they want to get away from it, they can go to the other end of the enclosure where they have an elevated sky hide and a shelf that they can lie on top of if they want to be next to the fixtures, or they can actually get underneath the shelf if they want to get in the shade and away from the lights. And now my husband is just doing that silicone application in the seams. And then this is several hours later when I've been able to put substrate in and start decorating. So as you can see, I've added some perching, and I like to wrap vines around those perches. All right, this is several hours after that when I've moved the enclosure into the room that it's eventually going to be permanently in. I still have to order the stand for it, and then the other two enclosures are going to be stacked on top of this. And Black Box does send little dowels to help give you a little bit of separation between the enclosures when you stack them, and it holds them together really nicely. This enclosure is pretty much set up the way it's going to be for the animal, but when I move the animal into the enclosure, I will also move all of her old enclosure furnishings into this one. So I know this looks kind of bare right now, but she's going to come with 2 other hides, a humid hide and a black plastic hide that goes on the ground. And then she will also come with another rock. And then I will fill up the space as needed with additional shelves and ledges if I see that it's just too much open space for her. A carpet python is going in here, a very small Papuan carpet python. And she likes to climb, she likes to be up high. So I think that to start, this will do her just fine. And I can always add things later or take things away depending on what she shows me her preferences are. This is Trigemma. She's a West Papuan carpet python. She's turning 3 years old this year. She's on the smaller side, and she was part of a cohabitation study with a clutch mate. And her clutch mate is like twice her size. So when I stopped doing the cohab study, I moved the smaller one into this temporary container. And she'll be moving into the 3x2 that I just put together, and she will take her hide along with her humid hide and the rock that's in here, along with some of the fake vines and things. And then the other 2 enclosures that just arrived are also going to house Papuan carpet pythons. So this girl's going to get to go in that first one that you saw me put together in this video. And then these next 2 are males that are going to go in the other 2 enclosures that I put together to stack on top of the one I put together tonight. This one is Moondor, and he's 3 years old. And this one is Trilorn, and he's also 3 years old. And then Sakozu, which is the female Papuan that I'm showing you right now, she is actually 4 years old, but she's extremely small. And I'm not quite sure if I'm going to move her to a PVC enclosure or another glass enclosure like this one that she's in. Now these are the back sides of our 6x2x2 black box enclosures. And now you're looking at the front of our 5x2x2 black box enclosures. And I'm just really pleased with these. I love how they look, and I really enjoy decorating them. But if you notice the doors on these, the hinges are on the bottom because the doors open down. And then this is a view from the side and front of the 6x2x2s. And this is what the 4x2x2 looks like. We have a Central American boa in this particular enclosure.